week's Bleach Manga chapter 535, so let's get into this. So this week's Bleach Manga chapter, I'm going to give it a good. The reason I give it a good is mainly because of the amount of information that was in here. You know, we get information on how basically Ishin loses powers. We also get information on how he's going to be able to save Misaki, and this, him being able to save Misaki goes into how Kisuke was able to save the visors as well, and we get information on how that whole process went. So overall, with all the information that was said in this, that's what makes this chapter good, and I like this. The only thing I like to say though is I don't really like the pacing for this chapter, because we didn't really go anywhere at all. They just went to Kisuke's place and he started explaining everything, so nothing really happened after that. Not to mention, I have to say that the information that was said in this chapter, they could have shortened it or condensed it a little bit more to have more content for us besides all this explanation. You know what I mean? They could have put a little bit more to it besides just him explaining everything, because this is a lot of information. But I'm gonna give you guys the gist of what he was basically saying. And basically what he's saying is how he's gonna build this, how you're gonna be able to save Misaki is that the thing is, Misaki's going through this process right now called a soul suicide, where the hollow soul and her soul is kind of conflicting with each other, and that because of that, it's gonna kill her. It's gonna explode, and she's gonna die basically. And the thing is, in order to save her, is that you need something opposite of Misaki right now. Misaki currently is a hollow Quincy. The opposite of her is a Shinigami human, and that's what she needs to be able to get saved. So with that knowledge, the thing is, Ishin is there. Ishin needs to be a hollow. He needs to be a Shinigami human, and how he's gonna do this is that Kisuke has this Gigai where you can go into this body, and it's a human form body basically. We kind of come human, so it's a human mixed with Shinigami. So that's how they're gonna end up saving her, and he ends up actually agreeing to go into this. But the problem with going into that Gigai is that he's going to lose all his powers. He's not even gonna be able to see any ghosts or spirits or anything like that anymore. So this is how he ends up losing his powers, because again, he agrees to do this without really a second thought. He's just like, let's do this, because he's just like, he's kind of like a righteous spirit, you know. He always wants to help people. He doesn't want to just sit by and let someone die or anything like that. So if he has the power to save someone, he's gonna do it. That's how he is. I am a little disappointed that we didn't really get to see any type of development when it comes to the relationship side of Misaki and Ishin throughout this entire flashback. Well, we're probably gonna see a little bit, maybe some later, but I don't know. I wish we saw a little bit of that, because they were all thinking about each other like the chapter before that and stuff. But hey, but overall, like I said, that's how he's gonna end up saving her. That's how that all works out, and how the visor basically saved is that he ended up getting his vaccine basically, where he had because since there were Shinigami hollows, he needed to get a Quincy human. So I'm curious, where exactly did he get these Quincy arrows from? Who, like, I mean that was back then. I mean, maybe the Quincy. Well, no, Quincy didn't really trust the Shinigami still then, right? So it's the case is, how did he get a Quincy arrow? I'm very curious about that, or Quincy energy at that point. So I'm curious how he's able to get that. That is a question I'm very curious about when it comes to Kisuke's side, of how he's able to get the Quincy power to be able to save the visors and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, also when it comes to Misaki's standing right now, Misaki will come basically back to where she was, where she's just a regular Quincy, because with this process that they're going to be doing, it's gonna make it to where she's not gonna have like a hollow mask or anything of that sort. So she'll be just fine at that point. So now we see why she can have all that going on, but the hollow is still inside of her, which is why when Ichigo yet again was born, that's why he had the hollow there. I think the hollow just transferred inside of the sun and just left Misaki. Then maybe that could have been a possibility, because the hollow couldn't do anything within her. So that's how all that energy went transferred to Ichigo, because he was the firstborn, and then that's when Kari and Yuzu came in. So yeah. So like I said, I like the information that was in here, and I just like it's just crazy, man. Like I said, he did about a second thought just trying to save her like that. So I just look forward to seeing where this is all gonna go. I'm curious. I'm very curious, because I'm pretty sure Misaki still has her Quincy powers and so on and so forth, right? When does she lose her powers? Exactly. When does she lose her powers? And what are the circumstances for her to lose her powers? Because now we see the circumstances for Shin. And I must say this too, for Kubo. I got a round of applause for that, for the fact that, honestly, I did not expect this. I didn't expect how he was going to lose powers in this manner. I thought he was going to lose power in a different manner, so I like this. So I'm just curious of how Misaki's going to lose her powers and so on and so forth. So with that being said, leave a comment below and tell me what you think of this chapter. Like this review, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Bleach reviews from me. So yeah, it's been the Thabreakmaster, and until then, people, break out.